Pew, 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 pew.
Hello.
What's up? How
They had
are
urges to be here.
they? Had urges.
That's what I heard. Matt had an urge for them to be here.
They were encouraged to be here. I feel like
He
if
said
somebody
urged,
says,
not encouraged.
"Oh,
I urge you.
that's okay," if you say that people have urges to be here, that sounds a little
Creepy.
ugh. Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe a little. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? This is our cool Q&A thing that we do every Thursday. Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday. You were thinking about your Tuesday.
I already had an idea for next Tuesday that we will not talk about right now, but yeah. So I think it's really, really cool. So anyway, this is our Thursday Q&A. We got a bunch of stuff to chat about. See all those over here? There's a whole bunch of questions that came in from the YouTube members as well as the Patreon members that we'll be featuring on the screen. If you use a super chat, we'll kick that on the screen as well. And even play a cool little sound. And until 9 o'clock, get as many questions in as we can. And then at 9 o'clock, we pretty much just go off the rails and talk about whatever we want.
Off the rails?
I mean, just whatever. I mean, it has gotten pretty off the rails.
Nothing beats the first time we did it.
It's true. I don't know. It's been fun. I really like that part. And I think everybody else does too. And I know everybody else does because we look at the analytics afterwards. And we can tell when you leave. Because we can see the little line go up and down. We can't see who leaves. But we can tell, however many people are watching. And then some people aren't paying attention and they leave. And then it goes back up. But we've also noticed that most of you stay after 9 o'clock to just hang out and just be friends. So thanks for that.
Curtis Chavez says this is only the second time he's seen your hair.
Oh, really? Yeah. I got a haircut yesterday, so I was like, we're just going to let it fly. Let it breathe,
Is that a thing?
Hair is a lot like guitar wood.
In what way?
It doesn't breathe. Moving on.
I got nothing.
There's a couple of things before we get into our Q&A portion that we need to do. One is I need to pour a drink. And two is I want to tell you about something very cool that happened today at Dylan Talks Tone. I was supposed to get a shipment of parts, and it didn't come. That's not the cool part. That sucks. It's actually coming tomorrow. So it put us a day behind on some stuff that we were making. But it gave me some extra time to finish up on a project that I have been working on that I am really excited about. I told you a couple weeks ago, and I've told you a couple of months ago too, that I was going to start working on online courses to where you could learn stuff. So we have 1,100 something videos on the internet right now. And we come out with a new video every week, and you can search the YouTube channel and find answers to stuff. But I think it would be way more effective, and it is way more effective, if we put some of this stuff into an online course that you can just own and have and be able to watch whenever you want, whenever you work on your guitar. We started with the soldering thing. We took it off the monthly membership thing.
Oh, it's removed?
Well, it's there, but I'm saying
we don't push it.
We don't push it there anymore. Yeah. You don't have to pay per month or anything. Nothing like that. It's dumb. I want you to just be able to get the stuff, have the stuff, own the stuff. So we have the soldering course, and today we finished how to set the neck relief on your guitar, how to adjust the truss rod. And it's not just stick the wrench in and turn it. It's about 35 or 40 minutes of video content split up into 8 sections, dive in super deep on why and how and what, so that hopefully when you watch this, if you've never done it before, you get a really good idea of how to set the neck relief on your guitar, and then you can take it from your electric guitar and go to your acoustic guitar or any other your other guitars. And so that is actually part 1. That 40 minutes of content is actually part 1 of a 5 video series that we're going to do on guitar setup, or a 5 course. There's going to be 5 courses. We're going to do neck relief. We're going to do nut height. We're going to do string height, we're going to do intonation, and we're going to do pickup height and electronics adjustment and stuff to make sure that the electronics are working good in your guitar. Some troubleshooting stuff in that last one.
That's
And
cool.
yes, so it's going to be a 5-course series. You can buy the first course already. There's a link to it in the description. We're going to be pushing this hard because I think it's super cool, and I think the value in it is massive, because by the time you get to do this, I believe, because it talks about all the tools and everything, I believe that when you get done with this, you won't have to pay a guitar tech to do most of your basic adjustments, and you buy a new guitar, get it off the wall, get it home, play it, don't like something. I believe that once this is all done and you watch this stuff and have it to refer to, that you won't have to pay a guitar tech anymore. So I'm really, really stoked about it. And the first one came out really good. So there's a link to it in the description. And so the soldering course and the neck relief video courses are there already. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to start working on finishing the nut one next, and we're going to keep going. Long term for this, we want to do wiring, in depth, various circuits. We want to do how to make certain pickups, including tool lists, the whole deal. I want to go all in on actually teaching this stuff and taking it out of just, I saw it in a YouTube video once. I think it will just make it so much more useful. So I just wanted to share that. That's happening. Yes. And before we get into the questions, one other thing. I want to talk about the thumbnail because I want to get your thoughts on it. In 2023, what is your main avenue of purchasing guitar gear? Are you going to a local mom and pop shop that's still in your town? Are you ordering online? Or are you going to Guitar Center or Sam Ash or something, some big box place? And I say big box separate from mail order because, Sweetwater is a big box store, but they are a mail order place. Or Zounds or Musician's Friend is owned by Guitar Center, but you know what I mean. So Guitar Center, are you driving to a big box store? Are you driving to a local shop? Or are you mail ordering stuff? And also, it's probably not all or nothing. You might order some stuff online. You might get some stuff in person. Let us know so that we can talk about that in a couple of minutes. But let's go through these questions first.
Awesome. Are these no particular order?
No particular order.
List. Doc, Happy New Year to you both. Have you ever seen a coil wound with 2 different gauges of wire in parallel? Also, what is the difference between rough cast bar magnets and the regular smoother cast magnets? Cheers.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the 2 gauges of wire in parallel. I have heard of people trying it. I've never actually tried it. It's really hard to do, and I don't really see the point in it. I think the coil would be so messy that it wouldn't really make much. It wouldn't be an effective way to execute a design, if that makes sense. I think it would be pretty inconsistent, so I don't know that that's a thing. As far as your rough cast bar magnets and the smoother cast magnets, basically the only difference is most of that stuff is sand cast. It's basically a sand mold, and they pour the hot metal in it, and it gets cold, and then they take it out. But the sand cast ones are actually sand cast, but the machined ones are cut. They it's in a bigger block, and they cut them. Some say that they can tell a difference. I think 99% of people who do a side-by-side comparison are making that junk up. That being said, I use Sandcast here because it's what is most readily available to me. And I like them. They sound fine. If you want to experiment with one versus the other, here's the thing. You got to make sure the dimension is perfect. You got to make sure that the gauge is exactly the same on both of them. and you put them in the same pickup, take one out and put the other one in, before you can get a good comparison. If the gauge is not exactly the same, you can't call it a good test. So you got to get that right. Worth trying though, just for yourself, so that you can have that confirmation, because most people are making it up.
The Guitar Curator. Sounds fancy. My question is about single coil pickup magnet pole piece size. I recently acquired a set of pickups that were taken from an Eric Johnson signature Strat. The pole pieces are oversized Alnico 3s in the neck and middle, while the bridge uses oversized Alnico 5. What does having larger size pole pieces actually accomplish, and what should one expect when comparing single coils with oversized poles to similar pickups with normal size pole pieces?
So you're going to have more magnet with a fatter pickup. So there are typically two measurements, 187 thousandths and 195 thousandths, unless you're talking about a Seymour Duncan quarter pounder, which is a quarter inch. But typically vintage style pickups are 187 thousandths, which is 99% of what we do here. The cross section diameter of the top of the magnet at 187 thousandths is going to give you a different magnetomotive force and a different flux field shape than one that is wider. And so it does change a couple of things. One, it changes obviously the shape of the flux field. So depending on how strong it is and how big it is and the wind count and everything, it is a consideration. It will sound different. And then the other consideration is that when you go with a wider magnet, your core dimension of the inside of your pickup changes. So you can actually fit less wire because the inside of the magnet gets fatter. So now you only have this much space on both sides for coil. So you literally change the coil shape when you change the diameter of the magnet. Cool questions. Proper nerdy questions.
Sean, I have avoided purchasing used guitars that smell of cigarette smoke. Is there a way to neutralize odor without damaging vintage finish?
I do not know the answer to this question because I don't buy cigarette smoke stuff either, because I hate the smell of it.
Can an electric guitar smell like cigarette smoke?
Oh my God. Yeah, you open up the case and
But the case is different than the guitar.
But it permeates the whole thing.
I didn't know.
Oh man, we've had guitars.
We have.
And you open up the case and it just stinks up the entire office for the whole day.
I figure we could get like drug busted for.
They smelled so strong. For real. Yeah, for real. And I don't know, because I've had them around. Like, this is when we used to do repairs. I don't do repairs anymore. But yeah, we used to have them around, and I don't know. I have no real way of telling you what to do with that. So get in the comments, everybody. Yeah. Share with Sean how you would do it. I don't know. I avoid the situation entirely.
Can you put like a box of baking soda in the case like you can in your refrigerator?
I don't know.
I don't either. All right. 67 Goat.
That means he's a Pontiac guy.
I recently purchased a Silver Sky SE. The guitar is great, but I am not sold on the pickups. They sound tin canny, especially in the higher registers of the A and low E. Would you replace them with
our Silver Sky specific pickups?
Or your Bonneville pickups?
Silver Sky specific ones. We have them and they're good and they sound awesome, but they are specifically made for that guitar. Yeah, I would get those ones.
Rob F. Epiphone doesn't make the Les Paul I want, yet Gibson does. I've never had a nitrocellulose lacquered guitar, and I'm worried about the finish. How difficult is it to keep a nitro finished guitar from checking and fading?
Fading, keep it out of the sun. Checking, keep it out of the cold. That's all you got to do. I got nitrocellulose Gibson, and I've got a couple other nitrocellulose guitars, and I don't take care. So I should say, my Gibson SG Junior, I have on purpose because I want it to look old. I never clean it. I want the nickel to get gross, not gross, but I want it to, get old looking. And I never wipe off the finish. And I've had that guitar 2 years, and I've been playing it a lot. And it looks new still. I think it's a non-worry as long as you keep it out of the cold and you keep it out of the sun. Like, don't sit it in the window,
Oh, what happened?
Nothing.
Oh. Did you have something in the background? Is that what it?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Robert, does it help the channel if I comment on older videos?
Yes.
B, chuckle please.
I
Does
did.
it help the channel if I don't skip the ads?
Skip the ads. Like, watch them until it says skip and then skip. That
Still
counts.
counts.
Yep. You can't skip before that anyway, so. I do not have control over how many ads you get in the video. Just putting that out there
I thought you had more than that.
again.
I thought you said you had 7. That's only 6. Are you missing any?
No, it shouldn't be. That's only 6. Oh, because there was somebody who said, this is not a question.
Oh.
And they said they were not going to be here tonight, but they wanted me to answer the question. So there was an extra comment that was not a question. So we did not miss anybody. Cool.
So, what's next? Do you want to hear what people are saying?
I do.
All right.
I do. I'm very interested in this.
Rick Bonneville. As to the question, big box or local shop wins every time. Can't hang in the big box store. Nobody gives a crap. That's not what he said, but that's what I said.
I get it.
BC Rich 581. So for people in a really rural area like mine, there are no options other than mail order for most purchases. You do lose out without having an actual store that has a decent selection nearby, sadly. Rusty says geography. I depend on mail order guitar stores because I live in rural Texas and don't want to drive hour plus to shop.
All right.
Dave L., I have an amazing local shop that I support as much as I can, but he is limited on the brands he is able to carry, and I like a lot of different stuff. So anything I can't get there, I order online.
Cool.
Al Adolphson, just an old guy, says, I usually buy from a local music shop, but if I get it cheaper online, I go there.
Okay.
And
Super chat.
thank you for the super chat, Mr. Goat.
Thank you.
He says, Dear loved ones, I'm just gonna ask it. Your regular P90 versus the humbucker size P90. Difference and why? The humbucker size is so dadgum purty to look at.
I will defer you to tomorrow's video at noon.
He had a super chat. You can't defer him.
That's true. The humbucker size P90 is almost exactly the same. It's just not quite as hot. It's a little... think like humbucker on one side, or like regular P90 on one side, think Strat pickup on the other, and then like turn the needle just a little towards Strat. Not in Stratty tone, but just in like the lower output, more clarity, kind of sparkly kind of thing, and less snarl, but not much less. We used it in the Yamaha Revstar back here, and that video comes out tomorrow at noon, and you'll be able to hear it in the neck position. And then maybe over the next couple of weeks, I will put one in the bridge position of a guitar, and
You have a video coming out on a Friday at noon?
We have so much stuff to shoot right now that I have to shoot a video every day.
So they're coming out twice a week?
Well, we're doing the normal Monday, and I want to get it on a program where people are... One of the things in the in my little rant about what I didn't like about my YouTube channel one of the things people said was, could you be a little bit more regular about what kind of content comes out on what certain days? Which I thought I was, but I think there's a way we can do it a little bit better. So the techie videos come out on Monday. Tuesday is the podcast. Wednesday is the news. Thursday is the live stream. And Friday is going to be probably where we put our like reviews and stuff are going to be on Friday. And that means that we're doing a video production every day of the week. But I just have so much stuff right now. I mean, we have like Gibson is sending me 5 more pedals. I have a bunch of stuff I can't talk about right now. I have Gibson sending me some other stuff. We have PRS pedals I haven't even got to yet. Like another 2 guitars, 2 more amp videos, 3 more amp videos. Like, yeah, we're buried in content. So buckle up. You're going to see some cool stuff. Okay, let's keep going.
All right. Chuck C says gear availability has still been an issue, so who has it available has been a big factor as to where I'm shopping.
You want a thing, nobody has it, you just go where they have it. Do the same thing.
Josh M says online MF. I don't know if that's a store. I think it is.
Musician's Friend. Okay.
Reverb, Sweetwater. The only local shop here is super shady.
Oh, that's funny.
Rob F says, I am still looking for a local store. I have no desire to go to Guitar Center. Sweetwater and my sales engineer have taken good care of me, so they get most of my business.
Customer service is really a thing, isn't it?
Yep. Lion Tribe GC says local and online.
Okay.
Dan Pierrette. Haven't seen that one. Sorry if I butchered your name.
He ordered a set of pickups the other day, though.
I do buy from that doesn't help me pronounce it.
I know. I recognize this. You said you didn't recognize the name. Okay. I recognize it because he actually emailed me. He ordered a set of center punches, I think. And he emailed me today and he's like, can we please switch them to zebras instead of a chrome cover? Because we just released that zebras are available across the entire range now.
I do buy from my local mom and pop whenever possible. I did have a great experience with my local Sam Ash too. The luthier at Sam Ash is great and even just does stuff for free as we hang out.
That's cool, man. I like that.
Charles Wallace says, as to the question of the night, I would love local shops if they have what I'm looking for. Only ordered 1 guitar sight unplayed from a local store. Worst guitar I ever bought until I found Dylan Talks Tone.
That's awesome.
Wait, worst guitar until he must have upgraded it. I read it like that was the worst thing he ever bought until he found you. Like, you're so much worse.
I know. That's funny.
Okay.
I love it.
Fat Philosopher, unfortunately I'll miss tonight's live stream. As for the question, local guitar shops don't make efforts to support lefties, so big box store it is.
What is this one above it?
I am only addressing what we're talking about right now,
okay.
And then we'll go back.
Okay, cool. That's cool. I wanted to know.
I'm trying to keep you on target.
No, that's cool. Thank you.
That's why I'm reading them, and you're supposed to just be talking.
I know. Thank you.
All right. This was related.
We are not supposed to fake laugh.
Are we faking laugh?
According to someone in the comments.
Laugh?
They're like, you don't need to put your fake giggling in there when you talk to your wife.
What?
Yeah, that's funny. I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, keep going.
Curtis Chavez. I wonder if the name Ma and Pa is already taken for a guitar store.
I think it probably is.
Give them 2. Ahoy there, Dylan and Leslie.
Ahoy.
I buy my guitar parts online.
Cool.
Hawkman Hawk says, I have credit at Sweetwater and it's easier to say sorry than ask permission. Paul Need says, no guitar shops locally. It's a 30-minute train ride away and then a few hundred yards walk. Really tough when walking's difficult, so mail order should I buy rather than build or assemble.
Yep.
Chuck C says, I usually shop around, so a little from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
BC Rich 581 says ordering online by default due to no other options in my area. One really small Guitar Center 40 minutes away.
Dang.
Ben says local and big box. Idiot Brother and the Can We Talk About It says, I wish I could go locally. I can't even find strings around here.
Wow.
Doesn't he live in a big area?
That's crazy. Well, that's cool. That gives us a good... I was curious about all of that because... the reason I was curious about it is because I feel like people oftentimes will feel very strongly about, where you're supposed to shop and all that kind of stuff. And also, I was thinking, after the video the other day, our podcast the other day, on Tuesday, about new stuff, where guitar is going and stuff, somebody in the comments said to me, which I thought was really interesting. They're like, are you worried that even pickups will go some sort of digital and you won't be able to make them anymore? And I was like, I'm here for it. And as I am thinking about where all of this is going with technology and whatever, I was also thinking about how people buy and who the customers are and the age of them and all that kind of stuff. And I know the demographic of all of you who watch this because I can see all that on YouTube too. So if you don't want to be old, lie about your age on the internet, but you can't because I don't think you can get away from Google. Anyway, trying to see, because of course you'd want to support local as much as possible, but a lot of times you can't. So what I personally do, I don't buy any guitars local, because I don't trust guitars that come out of Guitar Center. And we have a couple of local shops that, well, I'm in a maybe a little more of a unique situation than most people because of what I do for a living. So sometimes, what's that saying? The prophet is the most hated in his own hometown or something. So there's a couple of local shops that I attempt to do business with once in a while, but it doesn't really go very well. So there's a couple other shops that I'll buy strings from. I'll go to the local Guitar Center and buy strings and buy little odds and ends. Because I feel like even the big box people, they all need jobs. They all live in your town. They are local people. So even the Guitar Center people, I'll go buy strings. That's a lot of times where I'll buy strings from. When I was buying strings, because now I am using Stringjoy on everything, I guess. So now that's not even true. But so yes. So I think it's a mixed thing, right? So it's just I was just curious about it more than anything. Thinking about where we're going and how that plays into it. Everybody's a local artist somewhere.
Do you want to hear some more comments about that, or you want to move on?
Yeah, we can hear a couple more, and then we should check for questions too. If you have questions about guitar stuff in general, make sure you put a bunch of question marks in front of it. She's going to take a couple of more of these, and then we will get into some more questions if you have them. We could bounce around too. Okay.
Curtis Chavez said, bad experience in small shops. When I was looking to buy my first new guitar, I asked if I could play a certain instrument. The owner cocked an attitude and asked if I was buying that day.
So that has happened to me. I walk into a guitar store. We've been all over the country, right? Traveling. And we will walk in, and I think I even told this story. I wanted to play a Fiore. I had my Fiore on order, and I went into a guitar store in Denver. Mm-hmm. And it was a Guitar Center in Denver, and they had the fancy room. And I went in there, and they had the St. James. It was before this amp right here, before the St. James came out, or right when it came out. I didn't have mine yet. And I was like, I want to try that amp, but I want to play that Fiore because I've got one of those on order too. And blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, that guitar is real expensive. And maybe what I should do is go get you. So he came and went and got me this Player Series Strat, and it was garbage. The frets were crap. It didn't play well. It sounded horrible. And I was like, I played it for like 2 seconds and I handed it back to him and I said, I'm going to leave now. Just so you know, I own that guitar, that guitar, that guitar, and I have that one on order. So I don't know how you're going to like profile me into like being somebody, it was weird. It was really weird. So that kind of customer service, I think, is really important. That's why I like casino guitars. They hang all the expensive guitars and all the less expensive guitars all together. You don't even know. There could be a custom shop Sunburst Strat sitting next to a Mexico or an Affinity Sunburst Strat. They put them all together so that you feel like it doesn't matter how much money you're going to spend. You're still welcome in the store. And I really like that about them.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. Buy from Casino if you want to buy online.
Hazard Bound Band says, it's me, Randy. I only sell Enya guitars to local mom and pop stores. We are purposefully staying away from the big box stores.
That's interesting.
Solano's.
Oh, that's right. He's selling for Enya now.
Which means I got bands mixed up earlier.
You did.
My bad. As soon as I saw him coming, I was like, oh, that wasn't who I thought it was earlier. Solano Speed Shop. I mail order mostly because I only buy parts. I still go to the local shop though for plectrums. What's that?
Picks.
Oh.
He's not from here.
I thought he was. Doesn't he live in Colorado or something? Or California? Oh. That's the racer guy.
But when you say plectrum,
I'd never heard that word before.
You either watch a lot of Top Gear or some English television.
He probably does that.
That's probably true. He has Speed Shop in his name.
Yes.
Yes. But plectrum is
because you say like petrol and boot, and I'm like, what? Also watches a lot of Top Gear. Yeah. All of it.
All of it. I've seen every season, every episode. Yeah. Yep. Not the
I
American
didn't finish
one.
What he was saying.
Sorry.
For plectrums and strings and even straps from time to time.
I get that.
Totally messed me up.
I want some fancy straps of this.
John Waller says the guitars I own are only Kiesel guitars, so my guitar purchases are mostly online.
Well, that's really cool. That's cool that you're so loyal to the brand too.
Doc says I try to buy local whenever I can or from providers, builders that I know, such as yourself. Then, as a last resort, I will buy online.
Makes sense.
All right, let's scroll back down.
It depends where you are in your collection too. You know, like what guitars you want and what you're playing.
In your collection.
Yeah.
What makes a collection? Is there like a number? Like a couple is 2. Like, what's a collection?
I think it's the intent.
Oh.
I think you could have 3 of something. And I think it's like, I got this because I don't know. I think it's the intent. 1 could be the start of a.
Right? Yes. Dan of NJ says, I usually go to Guitar Center. They leave you alone and get what you ask them for. No hard sell or looking over your shoulder. I understand that small stores want to make a sale, but I prefer to take my time.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. You just
Damian Green, big box and or local store. Rick Bonneville says mail order is for brides only. All right. You want some questions now?
That's funny. Yes.
Anything else you want to talk about related to
No, that's good. That's good. It's cool to just understand. And it's cool to get to know y'all too and understand how you buy and what you buy and where and I don't know. I like to know it. It's fun. Maybe it was more for me. But it's cool to also I like having the conversations about the things. If you were to post this on Facebook, there would be some ding dong who would be like, I only buy local and you should never buy blah blah blah, and it would turn, and then the whole conversation would turn angry. And sometimes on social media when we have these conversations, it steers away from, because of peer pressure, because of what social media does sometimes in those situations, it turns away from reality. And I feel like you all and us, we all had a very real conversation about what you actually do, and everybody was really proud of their decisions, and like to know that. It just feels more
And
real.
it is a great example of how varied that is,
Mhm.
right? Everybody has a different situation, circumstances, wants, like, and so it runs the gamut of where they're shopping, and it makes sense.
It does. It totally makes sense. And there was really no vitriol from one form or another when you're actually having a real conversation, as real as this can be, right now. And I appreciate that from all of you. It's really cool to know that. And I think it's cool for us to know that each other is that cool. Community building.
Yeah.
Next.
All right, let's get into some questions. Charles Wallace, love your P90 and thought about changing the neck to a standard length, but the neck is so good. I don't know that that's a question, but
I don't know what that is. Standard length?
is this neck not a standard length?
Oh, he's talking about his baritone.
Okay.
So, yes, I wouldn't touch that guitar. I thought about that too. What he's talking about, he's got that $519 Squier baritone, the burgundy metallic one with the gold pickguard. And we put 2 new P90s in it, and we shipped it to him. It was really cool. And he said he might want to make it back into a regular Telly. But the neck is really good. It's a really neat guitar for $500. Really good.
All right. Paul Needs sent in a few questions.
Okay.
His first question was related to when you were talking about your class.
Yes.
He said, does it cover neck shimming for angle?
No, but that is on the books. That is not neck relief. So that would be in string action. And that is in part 3, which is coming.
To be coming.
Yes. So go there, get this class, this course, and then you'll know when I update them, because you'll have to put your stuff in, and then you'll know when I update.
Josh M. said, when you have more than one you need, it's a collection.
Okay.
That sounds like a good definition.
I get that. So one guitar is a collection.
But then what if it's like people who collect knickknacks? Like, you don't need those.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Anyway.
One of something could be the start of a collection.
Episode of Hoarders. Oh. All right. Still, Paul Needs a few interesting topics lately. We have an amp and speaker modeling. To an extent, we have guitar modeling with the Line 6 Variax. And I recall acoustic system too. How about digital pickup modeling?
Yeah, so that came up in the comments the other day. And there's a company, I need to get with them again. They had a, what is that called? When you pay money and you might never get it because... Kickstarter, yeah. For light, like, it was pickups that were basically worked off of light. And it was really cool. And I don't know if it ever got funded, but I talked to them. We did a podcast. We recorded a podcast, but the internet was so bad where they were that I couldn't air it. So I have it. It's good, but I can't.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That was good.
Yeah. So I need to get with them and redo that because it's really cool technology.
Did it ever launch?
I don't know. I need to get with them and talk to them more about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So then, Paul again. I know you've said you can't add what isn't there, but an approach like that used for mic modeling where you can choose or profile what you have and translate to, say, an 8.2K A243 AWG humbucker. I guess he's talking about pickups.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. So they do that with acoustic guitars, right? Is it Fishman in the Martins, or is it I don't know if it's Fishman. I can't remember who it is in the Martins. Maybe it's Fishman that has that. They like have mic but they're basically IRs. So I could see that happening or being useful somehow, but I think the technology would have to be different. I've given this a lot of thought over the last few days since somebody brought this up, and I've been trying to kind of rack my brain about how to apply it digitally, what a digital pickup would do, or what the benefit of it would do. See, the whole action of a transducer to change kinetic energy into electrical energy will always still have to be there. What happens after that is the question, and how to make that be a thing that people would want. That's a really interesting thought exercise.
I don't know why my watch was doing something. Hawkman Hawk says, I have 2 shallow Jazzmaster size spots on a parts caster. I want something hum canceling, but different than a regular humbucker. Any recommendations or something cool you make?
Nope, because I don't like hum canceling anything when it comes to single coils. So you'd have to go to like the Creamery for that, or maybe McNelly pickups. I would check McNelly first because he's a friend of mine, and then go to the Creamery after that.
Sir Sneaker Pimp said the Nilo caster is the guitar that uses light. Look up Ben Woods. He plays them.
Okay.
Did that just disappear 2 comments? No,
I don't
it just
know.
reordered them. That's so weird. Charles Wallace. Do we want to keep that for later? It's about an RV light.
Yep.
Okay, we'll keep that for later. Charles, we'll get that first.
We'll get that after 9 o'clock.
I don't know if this was a continuation of something. Lion Tribe GC says, what has logically happened? All my pickup switch positions show the same resistance. If that was a 2-parter, those aren't good.
Maybe the pickups are the same resistance.
Solano Speed Shop says his mom is English.
Oh, well, here you go. I knew there had to be some English connection there.
He said easy edit. I don't know. All right. Rick Bonneville. Dylan, I actually have a question. Could I take Van Shank's middle strap pickup and turn the magnets upside down to get an out of phase sound?
Just switch the wires.
Yeah, you don't want to take magnets out. Do you?
No. You ruin a pickup if you do that. Switch the wires.
Windsurf Maui says, courses sound good. Teaching is one of your strong suits. Can you put an asterisk after any course video where you use the whiteboard?
We use the whiteboard. I don't draw on it. We do it electronically.
Oh.
But I have some whiteboard drawings.
What'd you use?
Some digital ones that I made.
I mean, what did you use to draw with on?
iPad.
I mean, what program?
Just whiteboard in the iPad.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've done that. I've done that in videos now. Like the 21st century way to whiteboard is you just use whiteboard in the iPad, you hit screen record, and you draw like this, and you just put it on the screen instead of having a whiteboard.
Mm.
But people really like dry erase markers for some reason. I don't know.
They don't last very long.
No.
Solano Speed Shop. Speaking of your P90s, I was considering them for the hollow body I'm building instead of tele pickups. Would appreciate your input.
Dude, do it. Do it. P90s and a hollow body is the bomb. That's actually where they originated in the first place with Gibson in 1949, I think. Yeah.
BC Rich 581 took Dylan's soldering course on Skill. I'm assuming he means Share, and it helped out quite a bit.
Awesome. So now it's not. Don't go to Skillshare for it. Go to the link that I give you below. Because on Skillshare, you had to be like $15.99 a month, blah, 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 and have all this access. Now you don't have to do that. Now you don't have to do that. It's way easier and cheaper, actually. When you figure, yeah, it's way cheaper.
We're caught up, and it's 15 minutes till.
All right.
So that
maybe
feels
cruise back through there and see if there's any more.
weird. Well, I've been watching.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, somebody said you need at least 4 tires to make a set collection.
Oh, really?
So there's still,
Collection
talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the intent, though. Because how many cameras do we have? We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have like 8 cameras. And while that is a collection of cameras, I don't consider that a collection. I mean, I don't, because I don't collect cameras. I have 6 or 7 or 8 of them. I don't know how many.
Cameras?
Yeah.
Where?
Well, we have these 2.
Oh, like action
Yeah,
cams?
yeah, we have.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have.
You don't have to actually.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
But it's not a collection.
But it's not a collection. I don't collect them.
Collect all 4.
And here's the other thing. I have more guitars than I have in my collection.
What?
I have guitars that I have because I want to keep them, because I am collecting those guitars. I have guitars that I flip, that I use for the channel, that I don't consider in my collection. They're like work guitars that aren't.
So then a collection is different than collecting.
Yes, it's the intent of it. It's like the intent of it. Like, I
don't think it really matters.
I think it does. I have 2 different coffee grinders, but I don't collect coffee grinders. I just have 2 coffee grinders. One's for this purpose and one's for this purpose. It's not.
Which is extreme, yes.
Yes. Okay, a little bit. But I have a bunch of lights. I don't collect lights. But I do have a collection of guitars that I keep on purpose because I want them for particular reasons, and I am proud of this collection that I have. Knives, okay, that's a collection. Duh. That's constantly growing. Yeah. But I think it's the intent that you use it for.
What is the intent? Because when is the end? Let's talk about your knife collection too. Should we save this for like 12 more minutes?
Yeah, we should save that part for 12 more. So let's talk about the guitar thing. I do intend to collect guitars. I do intend to have a particular collection of guitars that is curated based on what I find important. I have a bunch of guitars right now that I don't really care about, that are for work, that are not in the collection, even though I do own them. So we have the MGK guitar, which is cool. I love it. It's super fun. It's a really good guitar. But if I sold that tomorrow, I wouldn't care. That's not in the keep pile. You know what I mean? I have a bunch of guitars that are kind of in the keep pile. Anyway.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right.
And the knives that's just out of control, but it's whatever. Oh, there's a question.
I have a couple of them. I'm trying to find them.
Okay.
You talk when I'm trying to talk, and you don't talk when I'm trying to find stuff. Charles Wallace says, I collect Dylan pickups. I have more pickups than I have guitars to put them in. Just saying.
You're not the only one. I would say Don is probably the same way. I would say...
Don said earlier that a collection for him is 100% emotional. Like...
Yes.
Like he has a connection to them.
That's what it is.
Do you
So
have a connection to all those knives? Don't make it weird.
No, because in some of them I have sold. Like, I've sold some of them.
Because you
I've given some of
upgraded
them away. No, it's not an upgrade thing. I can think of some of the knives that I've sold, or a pen that I just sold the other day. It's because I had no connection to it. I didn't really. It was like, it was a cool pen. It was neat, but it wasn't.
So funny.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's the same thing with guitars, though. There's guitars up there that I would never buy for myself, but they're good for the channel and you wanted to know about it, so I bought it. I don't consider those in my collection. Well, they're not, because somebody else bought it already.
Lions Tribe GC came back to clarify the question I didn't understand.
Okay.
They said, thanks guys. For more context to my question, it was basically an Ibanez with the 212 pickup configuration, 5-way switch. Should I be getting different tones if the resistance is the same?
If the resistance is the same, you will still get different tones based on where the pickup is. Because you'll get a completely different performance from a neck pickup to a bridge pickup, even if they're the same. Contrary to popular belief, you can wind all three pickups in a Strat the same exact everything. Humbuckers, for years, Gibson made them exactly the same. We make them exactly the same. The difference is the position, and so you don't necessarily need them to be wound differently. It is a common misconception that a bridge pickup needs to be hotter. It just doesn't.
There was conversation going on about there are also collectors of guitars who don't play. And somebody responded, those are dentists. And I was like, oh gosh, Don's in the comments, right? And I was going to comment for him, but Don just said, he was like, I've been butchering the guitar for 40 years, been a dentist for 25.
What's really funny about that? So, because it's either that or lawyers, right? And we have a lawyer that follows the channel a lot. I don't want to call him out, but he were joking about it on our Patreon hangout one night. I was like, what do you do, man? And he's like, I'm a lawyer. And I was like, wait, so you're like a blues lawyer? And he's like, well, I'm a lawyer, but I actually hate the blues. He's like, I like hip hop and electronic music and metal. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, that's really funny.
I was just honestly waiting for it to unfold.
What's really funny about Don is I've known him for a while now, and him and I have a lot of common interests. And Don, I did not ignore your question about where to sit at Singapore, but I was trying to give it some actual thought, and I didn't have time to actually go and pick a corner. But he, when you think dentist, you think like tweed jacket with leather elbow patches and drives a Saab, like with those little glasses, and everything. Wait, I wonder if Don has those, like the ones where they like split apart and they go down here and then they like click back together.
Who do I know that has them?
That's what makes that, when I think dentist, I think that guy. The guy, and then he drives a Saab, and he has like
sound effects and everything.
And he has the like tweed jacket with the leather patches on the elbows. It's like
this is very judgmental.
Yes,
right now.
That's what I think of when I think of dentist.
All right, we're gonna cut him off.
Don's not that.
Thanks for the super chat, Sassy Cat. Difference between silver versus copper wired pickups. Cost.
Big time cost. Silver's a lot more brittle. Apparently, the Zephyr pickups by Seymour Duncan have a different clarity to them, and apparently they sound really like hi-fi sounding. But they're like $900 a set. I thought about buying a pair to see, but one of my friends, I said that in a video, and one of my friends texted me and he's like, dude, we literally have I have a customer who bought a pair of them, put them in his guitar, had him in his guitar for 2 weeks, and he's like, he took them out and put your pickups in it instead. He's like, it's not even worth doing the video because they're $1,000, and you're just gonna say they're. And then you said to me, they're not good enough where somebody's going to want to buy them when you're done. So you're just going to be stuck with these $1,000 pickups. So I don't think it's necessarily worth anything, really. It's a cool exercise, but that's it.
All right. Bill Carr sent this question in twice. So I'm going to read you his first question, then we'll read his second question. Then you can answer it.
Okay.
Do you make Filtertron sounding pickups? I didn't see any on your site. Do you make Filtertron? Perhaps Dylantrons? Didn't see any on your site.
So this is a Jimmy thing. He told me they should be called D-Trons. No. Dwayne Brock told me they should be called D-Trons. And I should make Filtertrons. But no, I don't. The closest you could get to that would be probably our Slant 6 humbucker. Yeah, that's what I would go for.
You ready?
Yep.
I'm doing too many things I want to.
No, that's fine.
T-Bone. Hi, Dylan and Leslie. Dylan, what are your thoughts on an Alnico 2 in the neck position just to tame the brightness?
Alnico 2 can tend to be a touch brighter. I recommend that you go watch our video a couple of weeks ago. Actually, you can go to DylanTalksTone.com, click on the Thruxton Humbucker pickup, which I think is on the front page. And that is our Alnico 2 pickup. And we actually have a video where we compared Alnico 2, 5, and 8 in the same exact pickup. We just swapped the magnets out, and you get to hear the difference. Tell me what you think, and then buy them because they're good.
So there was conversation about the $400
contest. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know there was a date because Don was talking about making his flight, and I was like, wait, when is it?
I think it's the weekend after the Strat thing.
Before.
Oh, before?
Yep. It's the 5th.
It's good to know. Okay.
Yeah, that's
we'll be there too.
Yeah, but now we can make sure we're there.
Yeah.
Anyway. So thank you for telling me.
I was going to talk to Matt about it next week. I just
didn't know. All right, let me see if I... All right, let's finish these questions up because we only have 3 minutes.
Cool.
Rusty, do you think pedals, modelers, etc. enhance or inhibit emotion while playing?
It depends on how you use them. I think, I will tell you right now that I've been using the Origin Effects Halcyon for the last 2 nights, and I've been in here until midnight playing guitar by myself in the dark. It has been amazing. And I got a video coming out on Monday talking about it. And I found a sound that made me just like not want to put the guitar down. I think it's finding the sound. I think it's understanding how it works and just really finding the sound.
Super chat from Vinny's World. Thank you for the super chat, Vinny. I didn't even know he was here. Just gonna say it. You two rock.
Thanks, man.
By the way, received the Thruxtons yesterday and really looking forward to putting them in. Love the keychain too.
Oh, awesome. So for those of you that don't know, we have been ordering some random swag and not telling you about it.
Not random. It's very targeted. You just get it randomly.
Well, yeah, you don't know what you're getting. You know, we used to throw like a sticker in there, but we're kind of putting some stuff in there in the orders right now. And we're just, you know, it's kind of a collect all 4 deal. Once you get this, and we're probably going to change it up, you'll just never know what you get. Right now, and there were some keychains. They're gone. But now we're doing something different. And it's cool.
The August class is the Strat class?
The $9,000 Strat class, yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. He should get the pick guards tomorrow.
Okay. I'm having too many conversations. All right.
That's
Eric
okay.
Lettinger. How is it that my Gibson burst buckers and my Wilkinson humbuckers both are about 8K resistance, yet sound so different?
Because they're wound different, because they have different magnets, and because the quality of the materials is different, because the machines they do is different. You could take two people. We did this video one time where we took two guys, me and another guy, John Garnes from Odessa Pickups, and we had the exact same materials, the exact same bobbins. I actually had him make the bobbins. He magnetized them so that they were 100% straight the same. Me and him wound the same wind count, same wire on the same machine, and the pickups sounded different. So everything's a variable. My pickups sound different than anybody else that would try to copy them.
Oh, that's cool. I need to turn your notifications off though. All right, introduce digression.
Okay, so just hit the focus.
Where is it?
Right there.
It's like in a... Okay, never mind.
Okay, so here's how this works. It's 9 o'clock. That means we are going to just talk about off-topic stuff. We're not talking about guitar stuff. If you want to talk about guitar stuff, you have to use a super chat after 9 o'clock. Otherwise, we will ignore your question. You can ask any question you want about anything except for guitars. We might answer it. The reason we do that, well, I mean, there's probably a limit at some point. I don't know what that limit, we haven't found that limit yet. But I'm just saying, we do this because we just want to hang out with y'all. And I think it's really fun, and it's a way to just get to know everybody. Seymour Duncan ain't doing it. And I think it's really cool to be able to get to know everybody. And when you order, like that guy, he's hanging out with us. I don't remember what his name was now. I just recognize it from the order thing the other day. And it's like, all right, we get to hang out with him tonight. He ordered a set of pickups the other day. He's just a customer, but he's not, because he's here and he's hanging out. And I think it's really cool. That's why we do it.
Okay.
First question.
Well, I want to go ahead and get to Charles's
Yes.
because he asked earlier. So Charles Wallace said, did you ever get a light for the RV? If not, one that clips on the hat or one that rests around your neck, both are rechargeable. Where's your phone light?
So I actually did get a light. I actually don't. Yes. So I use this is an Olight Baton 3, and I use it because it has that double backwards clip. So now it clips. It can clip on my ball cap like this, and then I can use it as a headlight. And it is amazing. And plus, it's small. It's the one I just carry in my pocket all the time. So yes, I did get one.
I don't have an answer for that.
You don't have an answer for a lot of stuff.
That does seem to be the common answer. Bill Carr wants to know where babies come from.
Depends on the species, right?
Sure.
Seahorses just like shoot them out everywhere.
Nice.
They do. I was just trying to think of one that was exciting.
Funny.
Yeah. It's like a basic bicycle water bottle. It's just like, and it's just like squirting babies out.
Dennis Paulson says he likes the Lifestyle Dylan and Leslie channel. Yeah, so we did.
Thanks, dude.
We talked about it last week, so we did get the website up.
Yes.
Woohoo! So the website is up now. There is
You can
still
order
a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, but it's to the point now. If you want to order some prints from some of our photography, you can. If you want to order some
There's not that
T-shirts,
many,
yeah, there's a
That's
few.
the part I gotta work on.
There's a few, but there's more that could be done there. But we're getting there with it. Yeah, super cool.
He said, "Isn't that the truth about Siri?" Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody said seahorses can change sex too. I think. I don't know. Can they change sex, or is it they just don't have typical? Like, I feel like the males raise or have the babies. It's something
I don't
weird
know.
with
It's something
the males.
backwards, though. Yeah. It's something interesting.
Oh, Paul Need said, and in seahorses, it's the male that gets pregnant. Okay. So,
Okay,
yeah,
there
it
you
is
go.
backwards.
Like the Arnold movie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay.
Oh, that is so gross. Curtis Chavez says he back in the day before dentists wore gloves, he had a male dentist with super hairy arms and hands. And he had
Ugh.
dragon breath.
Oh, that's nasty.
That is terrible. Denro Zero says, greetings from Athens, Georgia.
Oh, that's right. He was in our premiere yesterday on the news.
Cool.
Yeah. I was asking him yesterday if it was raining over there because we were just getting hammered with rain, and he said it was in the middle of the night there. And then it got to us like early morning.
Ira Tiger Bomb says, I live with a Quetzal Actic Core headlamp on my head.
Oh, interesting. I don't know that
I wonder what
brand, but
What do you do, Ira Tiger Bomb?
Yeah, I'm about to look this up. Well,
Doc says, I picked the premium walkabout pass for the GP weekend so I can wander around the entire track for quali and the race. Should be really cool.
Dude, that's so cool. Oh, yeah, those are really neat. Just like a normal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is. The Actic Core. That's cool. Yep. Yeah, I just went with the clip style because I just feel like it's more versatile. Because it's in my pocket 99% of the time. I've only used it on my hat a couple of times since I got it. Isn't that how it goes? You're like, I really need this all the time, and then you buy it and then you never need it again. It's kind of one of them things, but.
All right. Sean McMillan wants to know, is Bigfoot playing a guitar in the forest off topic?
That is off topic enough, yes.
Brian Mills says Microtech, Ultratech, or Combat Trudon. Which and why, if you could only have one?
Oh, that's a good question. So I like the UTX 85 Microtech because I like how slender it is in your pocket. The Troodon is wider. So from here to here, the Troodon is wider, like taller. But the blade shape.
I didn't get that. Did you try?
Man, she is like doesn't have a clue.
She really wants to talk to you though.
I know, but she doesn't know anything useful. The Troodon is tougher. It's like heavier duty, but it's thicker in the pocket. And so we talked about knife collection earlier. If I can't carry it, I don't want it. I'm not saying that I carry every knife a lot because I have so many that I don't carry them all a lot. And honestly, 99% of the time I'm carrying my Sebenza anyway. But if I carry a Microtech, it's probably going to be a UTX 85. I have a UTX, like the regular UTX, the big one, but it's a Desert Warrior, so it's kind of a collector knife, so I don't really carry it. She has a UTX 70, which I really want another UTX 70. I want one for me. She has one, but I don't have one. But the UTX 85 is just a really slender, nice, easy in the pocket thing. And it does everything you need it to do. Troodon blade shape is really cool, though.
So can we talk about the knife collection then?
Sure.
Like, what is the point, and how emotionally connected are you to them?
I really think it's all about, for me at this point, now that I've been doing it a while, and now that I have a lot of different stuff, to me it's about designs that, maybe the same thing with the guitar thing, and cars and everything else. Designs that are interesting. I don't care necessarily about having the classics. For example, I've never bought a Buck 110, right? Or a Case, those little tiny pocket knives, because those are just pocket knives. Like, they're cool, and I get it that that's like buying a vintage Strat. It's like classic, and you know what it is, but it's cool. I don't care about that. This I really care about because the design is so super unique. Microtech's super unique. Even the Sebenza, even that is a classic design. It was the first first frame lock. But that knife is so well engineered and so perfect that that's why I like it. So I think now that I've been doing it a while, it has changed. I wanted like one of everything, but now I don't care about having one of everything as much as I'm just like, if it intrigues me design wise and it's unique design wise, I think it's cool. And that's why I've kind of slowed down on it, because even though it doesn't really feel like it, I have slowed down on it because I'm kind of focusing now. This is my latest one. I just got it the other day. It's a ProTech automatic out the side, but it's the Whiskers, the Mike Whiskers design. So it doesn't have a button. It's a bolster. The bolster sticks to this. It's a hidden button in the bolster. So you just kick it to the side and the blade comes out, which is a really unique design. It's the only knife like it, and I think it's really neat. That's why I got it, for example.
Paul Need says, I hear UT and immediately think of UTI.
UTX.
Dan, who hasn't phonetically told me how to spell his name yet, Pierre says, I collect Case XX cheetah knives.
Oh, okay.
And then people are messing with me. So Rick Bonneville says, Leslie, living La Vida Loca. Ricky Martin called and told me to tell Dylan he is ants. He wants the hairstyle back.
Hey,
Good
man.
dude, by the way.
I only have one. I have two hairstyles. This or short and spiked. That's it.
How is that different?
Well, I mean, if it was shorter and like really spiky.
It's not much different.
It's
I
not
think
much
it's
different.
the same hairstyle.
It's just kind of the whole same thing. It just either gets longer or shorter. That's
But
all it does.
always stands up.
It always stands up. Yep.
And worse when it's longer.
Just further. It stands up further.
Stands up further.
It gets taller.
That's what I'm going to say somebody next time. It's like, you're so tall. I'm be like, I'm just standing up further than you.
Exactly.
Ira Tiger Bomb says, this is really cool hanging out. I am on a houseboat in LA. No BS.
Nice. We used to have a houseboat available to me on Lake Powell in Arizona.
Doc says, exactly. It's the design and engineering that makes it interesting. My gun collection is the same. Unique functional designs that I find interesting. I just learned a thing about Doc.
I didn't. I knew that.
You knew that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Bonneville says, Dylan, you gave great hair.
I do have great hair. I've never given great hair, but I do have it. I do know I have it. I'm proud of it.
Give him two says, do you fish?
No.
Fly fishing in particular?
Heck no.
Fly fishing is fascinating.
What? In that you stand in a creek and like tease a fish all day long
I
and
don't
never
know how
catch
they
anything?
do it. Have you ever tried it? It's so hard to throw.
I have tried it.
It's so hard to throw. And then I didn't realize that it was such a thing until we went, remember we went, it's not like a German town, but it had a German name when we were with your sister. And we went
In Northern California.
in a fly shop.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know that was such a thing. And they had like so many intricate handmade little flies. And I was like, and depending on like what time of year and what kind of bugs and like that's why you buy them. And I was like, you've got to be. I mean, are fish that smart? I don't know. No, we don't fish.
No, we don't fish.
Nope. Somebody said I was in shock after how much I saw the fly rods are.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
I've never priced a fly rod.
Yeah, that
Dennis
chunk's
Polson
expensive.
says, do you all miss wheeling in the Jeep?
Big time. Yeah, if there's anything that... So, I will tell you that we have gone 1 year without selling a car. And that is really hard for me to go...
We almost didn't make it.
We almost didn't make it. And the thing that's going to make me change vehicles is to get the off-road component back. That is the thing that's going to, like, we don't have an off-road vehicle right now. And I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt. I know what I want too, but I'm on the hunt.
Doc says, I thought you knew. I'm a total hillbilly. Got a banjo and everything.
Yeah, I knew he was.
A hillbilly?
No, I knew he was into firearms and all that. That's one of those.
What makes somebody a hillbilly?
That's one of those subjects. I like them too. I think they're really neat. But that's one of those subjects I just don't ask about because people get all weird about it. So that's one of those things. I think they're cool for the same reason. I don't need to have a million of them or anything, but I think they're neat because they're engineering. Stuff is cool. Cool stuff is cool. And I like cool stuff.
What if it's not cool?
Then I don't like it. Or I might want to find out from somebody else why they think it's cool because it might actually be cool. I just didn't know yet.
Rick Bonneville says, Dylan, when you were a kid, did you have a big wheel?
Heck yes, I did. Man, I ran that thing so long that you remember when you had the big wheel and you could run it for so long that you'd like wear a hole in the plastic, and then after a while they get so worn that it was like 2 discs with nothing in the middle, like because you could skid them and stuff, and nobody ever rode them right. You would like stand on the back and like push it like a skateboard and then like jump onto it. You would never actually run, pedal it. You would actually just, big wheels. I actually almost bought a few years ago when we lived in our other house. I almost actually bought one of those, like those 2-stroke powered drift big wheels with like the hard tires on the back. I almost got one of those because I think they're so cool. Just because it's another thing to get hurt on.
Charles Wallace says, blowing up things is also cool. That's also some good stories that he has.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've blown up a propane tank or a van or 2 in my life. Yep. I don't know how much you can talk about that stuff on YouTube.
I don't know.
But
we just watched some videos about people getting randomly arrested for old videos, so I'm not going to test the waters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody's quiet. Are there people on? 87 people. Where are y'all at?
Yeah, man. Ask
Are
some
we supposed
random...
to talk about something? What random is on your mind?
Nothing really. I've just been so busy that I have been, I've been trying to do that whole little random diary thing on the other YouTube channel that's not really doing anything. And even the last couple days, I haven't done it because...
don't feel inspired?
Not that I don't feel inspired. When my mind is busy, I just get so task-oriented. You know this. Like I think I have a million things to do and then I'm done by 2:00 in the afternoon because I just get so task-oriented and like zoned in on it. And so I don't really have any off-topic stuff going on in my brain right now. And normally I do. Like normally I'm thinking about something random. The other thing too, to be fair, is I'm trying to slow down on some other stuff. Because we do have some other off-topic things going on in our life. But if I start thinking about that stuff, then I just want to... Like replacing the vehicle with something with 4-wheel drive. Like I could do a whole bunch of research about what I want. I could be all down that road and what I'm going to get and all that stuff. The problem is they would accelerate that entire process. We've decided that we are on a time frame that we want to do that. And so I just don't think about it right now. So I've like kind of shut off a couple of those things in my head the last few days because I'm trying to actually like just put that off in my brain until it's time because it's not time yet. So,
Well, Doc says you can shop for him. He said Porsche Cayenne Turbo or Audi SQ7. I'm SUV shopping.
Cayenne Turbo, 100%. Okay, so let's talk SUVs. So, I I'm in a weird spot. I want something fun, but we want an SUV again so bad because two reasons. One, off-roading is super fun. And two, we have a Dometic refrigerator that we used to live in our car all the time because we would go traveling for the weekend and road trips and stuff. And it doesn't fit in the car that we have now. And she's like, the next car we get, we have to be able to fit the refrigerator in it because it's like sitting in the closet. We don't use it. We love it. We use it all the time.
What?
We used to use it all the time. We would use it today. We would use it all the time.
Yes. But
it doesn't fit in the car. I really went down the road of a Porsche Cayenne Turbo. At the suggestion of my brother, because my brother, he's like, if you want something fun and you want an SUV, get a Porsche Cayenne Turbo. I was actually also thinking about getting a Porsche Cayenne Diesel. And I was actually also thinking about getting a Porsche Cayenne S because they have a twin turbo 3.6. Because they're sporty and because they're an SUV. The reason I decided not to get it is the reason why I think you should not get it because I know he wants a GT3 RS. If you want a Porsche to be a Porsche, get a Porsche. If you want an SUV that's fun, get a Cayenne. But don't get a Cayenne
because you want a Porsche.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't get a Cayenne to be the compromised vehicle. If you want an SUV that's fun, get a Cayenne. If you want a Porsche, don't get a Cayenne thinking it's going to be your Porsche. So we decided to not get a Cayenne. I think we're going to get a Lexus instead. But I just feel like don't compromise on your I want a new Porsche with the Cayenne. That would be my advice. Because I've gone down this, I know Don enough to know that could be what he's thinking, and I wouldn't want him to do that because we went down that whole same thought process too. Like, don't get it as a compromise car. Now, if you want an SUV, you need an SUV to drive around in the winter and whatever, then yeah, get it. But don't think it's going to be a GT3 RS. So.
Rusty said, you ever drive a two-stroke racing cart?
I have driven a two-stroke racing cart. They are bonkers. Yeah, I have.
I feel like I almost died on a few go-karts in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Should have died? I don't know.
Yeah.
Charles Wallace says, I'm glad I did most of my crazy things before social media. Agreed.
Exactly.
Because I learned the hard way, and at times it is very long and hard. Just saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel that. I'm glad nothing was documented. Rick Bonneville, Dylan, did you own a Fastback 100 bicycle? They weighed 35 pounds and kept you in great shape. Precursor to a 10-speed derailed system.
I did. I had one of those, and I had a Stinger with the banana seat and the fenders and everything. I had one of those. I had a bunch of cool bikes. Because that was, that was early 80s when all that stuff was really cool.
Dan Pierrette says, I'm a physics teacher, so when I found your channel and you got all nerdy, I clicked subscribe.
Dude, that's cool, man. It makes me feel good when actual smart people watch my channel and aren't, like, totally offended. I think there's some people that think they're smart and they get offended, but what?
Honey says bonkers. Such an English word. Sounded funny with your accent.
I don't have an accent. You have an accent.
I don't say bonkers. Oh. Okay, sorry. I just saw something else I was going to read. Oh, Rusty says, if you had to live in another country, which one would it be?
I haven't experienced enough countries to say. So if we took, like, I don't want any of you to get in the comments and be like, you wouldn't like it here because the taxes and the politics and the whatever. I don't care about any of that. Just what I know from watching National Geographic and TV shows and Top Gear. I really would. I almost moved to Italy once, which would really be cool. But that was like a long time ago. In Australia would be interesting, but she wouldn't live there because there's too many bugs that can kill you.
Where were we? So we went. I posted pictures.
That's right.
It was Butterfly World
In
outside
Florida.
of Miami.
In Florida, yep.
Incredible place, by the way. And you walk inside, and you walk in, and all you can see is like really, they had tons, right, of pinned butterflies. And it was like life cycle things and all these varieties from all over the world. Really cool. And then there's like this little alcove thing. And I was like, holy moly, those are big bugs. So then, and they're just pinned bugs, right? So I'm not like intimidated. They're dead. But I walk over there and I look. And there are some fun places that I thought I wanted to go. And now I'm not so sure I do. Because all of the places that were on my list have bugs bigger than my hand. And I was like, not cool.
Not cool. Guyana is probably the biggest one.
Yeah. Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea. That's what it was. They got some big bugs there.
Oh my gosh. Hang on. Doc says, okay, wait. Rick Bonneville says, nothing beats my 2008 Honda Fit Sport 5-speed stick. Actually, everything beats my Honda Fit Sport.
I was going to say, yeah, that's like yeah.
Doc says, I'm looking for a Touareg TDI replacement. Actually, the GT3 is likely to be a Turbo S because it's more livable, but I might just keep the RS5 for my toy.
Oh, then get a Porsche Cayenne Turbo. That's what I would get. If you're trying to replace a TDI Touareg, then I would say get a turbo, Porsche Cayenne Turbo. That's what I would get. Yep, for sure.
Ira Tiger Bomb says Canada looks good. Doc says
too cold.
You'd love Spain and Portugal.
I had a house with another guy in Spain. I never got to go over there. Had it, didn't have it again after that. But yes, I never got to go, and I would have liked to have gone.
You're not dead yet.
Nope.
The Panda says, what about the Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat? High horsepower, torque, SUV fun.
Because I won't buy, for a daily driver that I have to live with, I will probably not buy a Mopar product. I have never, ever been happy with the fit and finish of Mopar stuff. I just feel like they're real plasticky. Everything's put together with wood screws. I'm just not really a fan. I try to keep up on it. I know the newer stuff is better, but I can't do it. Yeah, I can't do it. It's going to be something. It's going to be a Lexus. I'm 99% sure it's going to be a Lexus.
Anything could happen.
But anything could happen.
Crankshaft says, post big wheel. Anybody ever have a BMX bike with no brakes? Just jam your foot between the rear wheel and frame?
Yes. Absolutely. Redline. Yeah.
Mr. Goat says, I would never buy a used anything without full service records. Being a service advisor for years of reliable brands, way below 50% do the preventative manufacturer recommended maintenance.
Yeah. And again, that's why I want to get a Lexus. Yeah. Oh, super chat.
Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Thanks for the super chat, 94 Dodge dude. He says, hey guys, would you ever collab with Phil McKnight?
I would. We have spoken briefly. We have spoken briefly about it, but we've never really. I should reach out to him again and see what's up. Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
If nothing else, I just get them on the podcast.
Yeah.
We should at least just get them on the podcast.
Rusty says, have you and Leslie ever been on a cruise ship? Nope.
Nope. We have not.
Nope.
We may, but probably not. I kind of doubt. It's not high on the list of fun things we want to do, I think.
Okay, so people like cruise ships. I think. The people I know that like cruise ships, let me say that, like it for the all-inclusive aspect, and like eat whenever you want, drink whatever you want. One, I don't think they could feed us well. Two, I really don't care about food as a priority.
Yeah.
And being like, I feel like it's glamorized, like the appeal of a cruise, but really, if you want to be somewhere, so does everybody else, and so then you're just like confined, and there's nowhere to go, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very much an introvert, so I feel like I would have to get like a balcony room, and I would just want to like hang out on my balcony, and then what am I paying for? So it just doesn't sound fun to me.
Yep.
It never has.
It's a more cost effective for us to go somewhere on the ocean and get a beach, ocean facing hotel room for the weekend. So you can listen to the water, walk on the beach in the evening and in the morning, and it gets us all the things we want from a cruise, I think, without the things we don't want. So it's a better use of resources for us to do that, I think. Yep.
Doc said, a couple people said, Pooh Ninja said floating buffet casinos.
Yes.
Jason Albert said cruise ship trapped on a floating hotel. Doc says cruise ship is a floating buffet. Definitely not my thing.
Yeah, and we don't eat all that food that everybody thinks they want. So I just don't care about it that much.
Yeah, because people are like unlimited food, and then they can eat like steak at every meal and get dessert, and I'm like, and like I don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we just don't eat that stuff, and I don't know. We'd rather go explore and see a place. That's our thing. I think that's how we travel too. Is don't stay in one place very long. Go find new stuff, go see new things, locations, stuff like that. And not just attractions either, but just like whatever, like stuff you hadn't thought of. Stuff other people drive by, we will stop and take pictures of it, But
I think that was really enhanced, I don't know the word I'm looking for here, by COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were full-time traveling then. And
Yep.
some things weren't open. Two, if it was open, we didn't want to be in a crowd of people.
Yep.
We were really avoiding people.
Yep.
And so we did things that were like off the beaten path or just natural, and I think I appreciated things more because I wouldn't have done them otherwise. I would have totally cheated and just paid money and gone to the tourist attraction.
Yep.
But we couldn't or wouldn't do that, and so we found some
cooler
dumb stuff too.
Yeah, some dumb stuff, but some really neat gems in these little towns that you just wouldn't know were there. Or even some stuff. I mean, we went and toured the EAA museum in Wisconsin, and it was like nobody there. Just kind of off the beaten path for the day.
Yeah. And I like taking pictures, and we're due to do that.
We are.
I was looking through. So part of, we alluded to like the website and all the things going on and buying art. But I'm in the process of organizing probably thousands of pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can then decide what we want to pull for print artwork and have that available on the website. But it needs to be organized first.
Yeah. Yep.
And there are so many times when I'm like, oh, remember such and such? I wish I had that picture. And we just didn't have a solution that was could easily grab pictures, but now we do. So I'm really excited about that too.
Yeah. It's cool.
Jeffrey Egan says Bonamassa does blues cruises. That would be cool.
Yeah, I've had a couple of my friends play on those. Actually, on a Bonamassa one. And it's weird, actually.
And for the record, they have plant-based cruises. But those are really weird because if you don't do like yoga and meditate and eat raw food and want to go to a health seminar, it's dumb. And those aren't my people.
No.
That is the food I eat. Those are not my people.
Agreed. Agreed.
Doc says tapas in Spain. Wander around, look at stuff, have a drink and a snack, and repeat.
Yep.
That sounds nice. Jeffrey Egan said, as someone who spent 2 different 6-month cruises, they don't appeal to me.
Yeah.
The best part was getting off the ship.
Yeah. I suppose if that was your station, that would not be cool.
94 Dodge Dude says, pickup talk between you and me would be awesome. Okay. I don't know what that means.
Me either.
He said he loves both of your podcasts.
Thanks, man.
You have 2 podcasts?
I think people consider this one.
Huh.
Even though it isn't really. But I get it.
If they're just listening to us, that could be a
Yeah.
podcast.
No, I get it.
So no, we've never been on a cruise ship. I'm trying to see if there's another question since then.
Not really.
Rick Bonneville said, you would love Cuba. Everything is off the beaten path. No.
I really want to go to Cuba, but I don't really want to go to Cuba.
Isn't it like stuck in time?
Yes, that's why. I'm really fascinated with it, but I also... Yeah, I also... I have been in countries where there was situations you didn't want to be in because of the overall scene, and I don't want to do that again. I've had friends get kidnapped. Yeah, I don't want to. So I'm not afraid to go to a different country, but I also would be very smart about it. And I would love to go to Cuba, but that's one of those random ones where, depending on who said what on the news on Tuesday, is how the kind of situation that it can be down there. So if it were to stabilize some more, I probably would go. But
94 Dodge Dude said, yes, both of these lab shoes. But he was referring to your podcast and Phil's Know Your Gear podcast.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Pickup talk between you and Phil would be awesome since you both do hand-wound pickups. I didn't know he made pickups.
I didn't know he made pickups either. That's cool. I don't actually follow everything he does. I do watch some stuff. I don't actually follow that many guitar YouTubers. I will tell you, there is not one guitar YouTuber that I watch all of their stuff. Typically what I do is after I'm caught up on all the knife stuff and all the car stuff and all the whatever else I'm into that moment, then I will scroll through YouTube and see kind of what the most popular videos are going on right now. And I'll catch a couple of them every now and then. I've been trying to explore more music too. So, like actual music. So, but I don't actually, I used to like watch every Anderton's video. I used to watch but I don't like to do that because it just puts me in a frame of mind. I don't want to say it doesn't make you copy, but I also feel like there is a bound formula for a lot of this stuff that I don't even want to know what it is because I don't want to do it that way. I want to do my own thing, and I don't want to intentionally be unique because then that gets weird. I just want to do my own thing independent of everybody else so that it's genuine. And if I watch everybody else's YouTube, then I'm just ending up being like that.
Yeah, then you're influenced and you force yourself into like, oh, I should talk about this because everybody's talking about it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was weird when you tried that. because you tried to be on top of
Mhm.
everything at one point in time, thinking you needed to be. But I think having, and of course, time changes that too. Like now you have an audience that you have a relationship with,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps.
Yeah, and I do pay attention. Like,
And you watch, you can see referring videos and things like
yes,
that.
I
So
do
you
pay
do,
attention.
yeah.
Yeah. Like if you watch a Rhett Shull video or a Phil McKnight video and then come to my channel, if a lot of people do that, I can see that. Like,
And you'll go check that.
and I'll go
video
check out that video and be like, I wonder how that ended up here. You know what I mean? How people will get. So it helps me to gauge interest, but I don't spend a lot of time on it. I've actually went all down this whole rabbit hole of like, because they have all these tools on YouTube. Oh, there's a super chat. All these YouTube tools where you can be like, this is what your audience is interested in right now. You should make a video about it. And I make a video about it, and it bombs. So I just like the positive grid video was that, and it just didn't do very well, even though I thought it was fun.
Thank you for the super chat, Ira Tiger Bomb. I don't see a question though. So if
It
you have a
doesn't see a question.
let me know.
Yeah, throw it in there. We'll try to grab it. What else you got?
People saying Cuba is safe. You just can't fly him from the States.
Oh, okay.
Rick said he's been a bunch of times. It looks like Doc's been.
I'd like to go.
Safe. Crankshaft says, you and Phil are my favorites. Down to earth, honest, and independent. I can't be the only one.
Yeah, I like that about him.
Can't send texts with super chat, just a thanks. Thank you, Ira.
Thanks, man.
Rusty wants to know who? Maybe it means who are your favorite female guitarists?
I have been trying to look at that more lately. I mean, you could go with all the classic-y people. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm just gonna. Joan Jett is. I have like a massive Joan Jett crush. She's on the wall around here. Oh, right there.
You didn't put her.
I didn't put her on the wall. She's right there. I have a huge Joan Jett crush. She's amazing. But as far I've been trying to focus on modern players, so I've actually been Googling that on purpose lately and looking at YouTube on that on purpose lately. But I don't know anybody's names really. I've been trying to pay attention, but I don't really know anybody's names. I mean, you can look at Nita Strauss. You can look at the girl that plays for is it Sophie Burrell, the girl that plays for Machine Gun Kelly. She's really good, and I really like her a lot. But I also like Machine Gun Kelly too, so that's a whole nother thing. But I've actually gone down this whole rabbit hole lately. My whole musical rabbit hole lately has been hip hop, cross genre stuff. So, country players that play rock and vice versa, rappers that do rock and country stuff. If you watch Post Malone on YouTube, he like does everything, like all kinds of styles of music. I really like cross-genre collaboration kind of stuff. I think it's really neat. And I think it keeps your mind open because a lot of people will say rap is stupid or, hip hop is dumb or whatever. They'll kind of like compartmentalize music and be like, this isn't real rock or this isn't whatever. And I think if you look at cross-genre music, it really kind of opens your mind to be like, oh, this person is really talented. You just don't realize it because it's not what they do on the radio, but they're actually like really awesome. So I've been trying to on purpose do that lately and just kind of go down those rabbit holes.
Rusty also wants to know, what is your favorite thing to cook?
Favorite thing to cook is probably... Well, my favorite thing to cook would be anything on a grill if we had our smoker still. I like making salsa a lot. I know it sounds dumb, but I have a way to do it, and I really like it. I like making plant-based burgers from scratch. I like making breakfast.
Which is like usually a potato
Potato
scramble or
hash
something,
scramble
yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah, I like cooking a lot of stuff actually. Yep.
Grapple with Reality wants to know what's the best email address to get in touch with you guys.
What I would do is go to dylantalkstone.com and hit the contact us button on the bottom.
Ew. Sean McMillan said, I lost my interest in cruises when I was told by a former performer on cruise ships that they lace the food with a mild laxative to keep the pipes from clogging.
That is gross. I don't ever want to go on a cruise. That is hilarious.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's
Between
true.
that and the seasickness, you would never want to be around anybody on a cruise.
No. That's another thing that terrifies me. Even, what were we looking at? We were going to do like a sunset sail or something.
You don't want to be around somebody else that got sick.
Yeah. I don't know if I would get seasick. So that's a fear in and of itself. But I also don't want anybody else around me to be sick.
Yeah.
So that's not cool.
Yep.
So I would need like a private tour. I do not want to be on a boat with a bunch of people I don't know.
Makes sense. That's ugh. That is no.
What's your deserted island album?
DJ Shadow Introducing. That's my number one favorite record of all time. Period. Because I can listen to that record in any mood. If I'm angry, if I'm sad, if I'm cruising down the road, if I'm trying to sleep, I can listen.
Sophia Lloyd with MGK.
That's right. That's what her name is. Sophie Burrell is another guitar player.
That's who we met, right? Sean McMillan?
Yes. That's who we had breakfast with a couple weeks ago.
Okay. I thought that was his name, but I wasn't sure.
Yep. I would say DJ Shadow Introducing. That's the one.
I also don't want to be on a deserted island.
No.
Unless my house was there.
Yeah.
And there was internet.
You'd have to have internet and you would have to have transportation because I couldn't be stuck anywhere on purpose.
On accident?
No, I mean like
what's the difference?
Well, like we couldn't live in the middle of nowhere with nothing. There's people that would do that. Like, the mountain man thing. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? They think they're amazing because they...
I would live in the middle of nowhere with zero contact with people. If I was financially
able to do it.
Independent and didn't need to work.
Yeah, I get that. I would still
There would have to be water nearby, though.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem. You want to be by the ocean, in the mountains, and on a river.
Yeah. Hard to please.
That's why we haven't bought a house yet. Because we haven't found all of that. For $180,000 or, whatever. So funny.
Jason Howard said a desert island would be cool. Yes.
A desert island. That sounds good.
Dessert?
Yeah. Well, looks like we pretty much caught up, huh?
Oh, what's my desert island record?
Use Your Illusion.
Probably not.
Appetite for Destruction.
I don't know that it would be that.
Pearl Jam something.
I don't know. When you just described that mood thing.
Yeah, what could you listen to all the time?
What came to mind first?
What?
Is the Metallica Black Album.
Oh, okay. for you, I could definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see that. That's in my top 10 for sure. I think the other album that comes to mind all the time for me is if in that whole kind of at the top of the collection is Pearl Jam 10.
I mean, obviously that's mine.
You know,
with the addition of like Yellow Ledbetter.
so
I need the EP that goes with that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's another record that nobody ever thinks of, and I really, 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 really love it. And it is from that. It's before that. It's music from before that, but I think it came after that, and that is the Singles soundtrack because it has Mudhoney on it.
I've never watched that movie.
It's
The dumb movie. The movie's dumb. The music's good.
The soundtrack is phenomenal because it has all these artists from then. You know, I mean, Mudhoney. It's like pre-Pearl Jam. It's like, you know, all this stuff's really good. And it probably puts me in a frame of mind of a particular time of life too, I suppose, but not as much as DJ Shadow, because DJ Shadow is right up there. And I'm not saying there's no guitar on that record, but that's an electronic record, you know, which is funny.
Doc said, he's asking me, am I planning to come out to Denver in August too? I will probably come in August because it won't be cold in Denver.
Right.
I am not interested in being in Denver when it's cold. Because when we were there in May, it snowed. That was dumb.
Yep.
So I will come if it's not. Because your other times you're going is like March and December or November?
I don't know. We have to figure it all out.
I have it all.
Oh, do you?
Why don't you know?
I don't know. Because I haven't looked at the calendar. I was just thinking too, we got to figure out what's going on with
March.
And we got to go to California in April, maybe.
March, August,
and what?
December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I will come in August.
Yeah.
I probably won't come in March or December.
Probably not.
That's
funny.
Not cool. Cold. But yes, and I think that's the weekend we would need to be out there the Saturday before the class if we're going to go to the contest.
Which I think we will want to do that, yes.
Well, I wouldn't want to miss it being that close.
Same.
Yeah. If we're going to be there anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yes, Doc. And Doc said he's coming for the weekend. He's not in that class, but he's going to come for that.
Oh, okay.
Weekend.
Cool. The $400 weekend. It's probably going to be more than a $400 weekend.
What should I say? I don't know why I keep
I know what he's
saying
talking
that.
about. For the contest, for that.
Yeah.
That
no, he's not
guitar.
saying that. I'm saying it.
I know.
Oh, do we have dates for the Nashville winding class? Nope.
No. I'm actually, he texted me yesterday, and I need to connect with him. Maybe I'll call him tomorrow, and we need to work out some stuff. But I need to figure out on a calendar where it's going to fit. Because this year we will be doing something almost every month, I think. It's crazy.
That's a lot.
I know.
I thought Doc had a bunch of plans already, too. Oh, and Jason Albert said, and you got to see me sometime this year.
Yeah. That actually might be the next time we go to Colorado together. That might be August, because that's on the way. Kind of. We could make it on the way to see Jason Albert. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but we'd have to spend time there, because he's got to take us to
the thing.
Yeah.
The mounds.
Yeah. He was talking earlier that he was talking about people being smart, and he called himself dumb. And I was like, dude, you know all the trivia and the travel
He does.
stuff.
I wouldn't want to play Jeopardy against that dude.
I would want him on my trivia team, though.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man. This has been super fun. How many people we got here still? 80. Holy smokes. I love it. You guys, this is great. This is so fun. I'm glad we do this.
I never want to do this until I'm here. And then I'm like, it's kind of cool.
I know. Tonight you were like, I'm kind of tired. I think, I don't want to say I think the same thing, because I do know it's going to end up being fun. But there are nights where it's Thursday night and you're just like, I am so tired. But then you get in here and see people coming.
And I think the time messes me up sometimes, because I don't know, like once you think like, oh, I'm gonna relax, and then you're like, oh crap, I have things
We have
to
to
do.
work. Yeah. Yeah. But then it gets to, I don't want to say the guitar part feels like work and then this doesn't, because it's all fun, but you get to this part and it just ends up being super fun.
Doc says, I have a huge bunch of plans, but I'd make coming to Nashville to hang out with you two a priority. We should know when you're out of the country, though. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to come and we have to figure out where to squeeze something, we should make sure you're...
Doc, tonight or tomorrow, text me, and I might not be able to reply tonight, but text me when you're going to be out of the country so that I know that those are blackout dates, because I wouldn't want to schedule it. Because I'm going to call Austin tomorrow, and we're going to start figuring out. So for everybody that doesn't know,
And we might do a couple, right?
we might do a couple of them, but we are going to do some pickup winding classes in Nashville, Tennessee this year. That's the goal. We don't have anything set in stone yet, but we have the beginnings of some plans to make that happen. So, because the ones in Denver sell out every time, but there's a lot of people on the eastern side of the country who are like, I would go, but it's just too far, too much. So let's do it in Nashville. So I've got a spot and some cooperation and a friend that's going to help out with it. And I think we're going to be able to do it in Nashville a couple times.
Paul Need says this is all very enjoyable. It's why I'm here chatting at 2:45. It's 2:45 in the morning where Paul is.
I know, because he's in England.
That's
crazy, dude.
That's dedication. If
Yeah.
this was at 2:45 at our time, you would never see me.
Oh, man.
So, thank you for being here. Paul.
Yeah, thank you. This is really cool. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us again.
That was a whole hour.
It was a whole hour. And we will see you tomorrow at noon. The thumbnail's already up. I will be there. It's going to be a premiere sort of deal. And I'm actually getting up in the morning to shoot Monday's video. Doc, it's going to have a yellow guitar and a red guitar in it. I'm just saying. We're going to talk about Monday's video is basically going to be, I did that thing on the channel where it was like, what video do you want to see? And everybody wanted to see. I gave 3 choices, and I thought the least chosen was going to be like a long-term update on what I thought of my SG Junior. And it was the most. People really want to know about that. So, at least my subscribers
Shows
do.
what you know.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about what I think of my Gibson, and I've been playing it, and now I have a guitar to compare it to, so we're going to talk about that too.
Awesome.
Kind of cool, man.
Thanks, y'all.
We will see you all tomorrow for the RevStar video.